when North Korea launches these projectiles, we don't know yet if it's a missile, if it's a rocket, but there's always this element of propaganda to it. It's why over the weekend North Korea announced that test of a new high-thrust rocket engine that experts believe can be modified and placed on an intercontinental ballistic missile. As for what was launched this morning local time, we don't know yet. The flash first came out of Japan that some kind of a launch was detected, and then the South Korean Ministry of Defense also confirmed that they were aware, and they actually did use the term missile launch. We just don't know what kind of missile it was. We don't know the size. We don't know the possible, what was intended to be accomplished here. Because North Korea has been saying for quite some time that they were going to launch an ICBM, and yet there have been preparations that were detected from satellites. But what we do believe is that this particular launch did fail. But don't think that means that we're out of the woods yet in terms of North Korea's capabilities. It's very natural for countries that are developing their missile programs to have missile failures. It happened in the U.S., Russia, and it happens all the time. And North Korea has had a string of successes lately, Rosemary, including they simultaneously launched 4 ballistic missiles that landed within 200 nautical miles of the Japanese coast. That was just a couple of weeks ago. And they also launched a new kind of land-based ballistic missile at the beginning of the U.S.-South Korea joint military exercises, which, by the way, are still ongoing right now. So we can expect more launches to come because Pyongyang has always agitated when the United States and the South Korean military are training together very close to their borders.
And Will, how do they know that this was a failure? And as you point out, it doesn't matter if it is a failure because each time they launch a missile, they learn something new, don't they?
That's right. They believe it's a failure because when there is a missile launch, there is very sophisticated radar set up in South Korea and in Japan and in the United States as well to track the progress of these missiles. And usually within a short amount of time, they can tell us how long it traveled. The last ballistic missiles traveled, I believe it was around 600 or so miles, bringing it very close to Japan. In this case, they didn't get a trajectory. They detected a launch. So there was certainly activity, a ball of fire that was detected from satellites, but there was no track of the missile. But what that means, Rosemary, is that scientists will learn from this and try again in North Korea.